Those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
AMP2.TV presents Tell Us Your Business, where you're invited on the air to tell us what makes your business stand out in the community. It's important we hear from you to tell us all we need to know about what you do best. Tell Us Your Business uses the latest radio and television production systems, and all shows can be seen on AMP2.TV. If you have a question for our guest, call 888-565-1470. Now, let's get ready as our guest hits the airwaves and informs us about what we need to know on Tell Us Your Business.
Good and plain. Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe After Hours.
How do you like being on the side of the table with me?
This is, I
It's
don't know.
weird, right?
This is really weird. I'm a little lost.
It's a little weird. You're not normally on the side of the table with me. You're usually on the other end, but
Tell Us Your Biz, brought to you by the cafe, the Brooklyn Cafe. We are excited. Look at this thing. This TV's huge.
I know.
Is it me or is it like weird?
I'm telling you, this is what it's like on the other side here on Thursday nights. And you wonder, now I have a change of perspective. I'm here, then I'm looking there, and then I've got a guest over here, and you wonder why I'm
Did you
without
shrink?
a teleprompter. I don't have a pillow with me either.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Oh, we got to invest in
Because
pillow.
normally, I'm here on my own camera and nobody knows. It's like the magic of TV. No one really knows how tall I am or not.
I don't know. I've never seen you this short. And I've
Thank you
never had
very
a TV so on top of me.
That's what Jordana says.
I got sunburn.
Anyway, happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome to Tell Us Your Biz live at WWNN. Give us a call at the radio station, 888-565-1470. We've got Dan board up today. A lot of new things. We've got a big announcement to make for tomorrow, as
Why
a matter
don't you
of
do
fact.
that where I share this out?
Tomorrow, 12 o'clock, the Brooklyn Cafe Show is going live on WGHT, New York and New Jersey. Our first show up in the Northeast. Boston is on Mondays, and now we're going to be airing every Wednesday at 12 o'clock live on WGHT. So it's pretty exciting if you're in the area of Boca. We're kind of having like a big launch release party tomorrow at 12 o'clock also in the studio. We got Wemp Wednesday. Anyone's in the area, come on down, and we'll probably open a few bottles of something or coffee, Hugo, if that's what you want. But you never know, because we always say, it's 5 o'clock someplace. Like we had the ladies on today.
They were drinking wine.
And they were doing their Wine Down Wednesday on Tuesday, but a lot of great things. So I'm excited that we've got that going on. It's been a long time in the making. Kind of nice as we're going into our 7th year anniversary as the Brooklyn Cafe Show to actually now be live in New York. It's pretty exciting. I think it's pretty cool. Are you
It is
happy to
pretty
be going
cool.
there?
I'm very excited.
Now, we're not physically going to be there in the
Yes, you
magic
gotta
of
tell
digital
people that.
TV and digital radio. We are digitally sending everything from our Boca Raton studios to New York, but I can't think of a better place other than WNN than to be live in New York and New Jersey. Slick, you might have to come back for a special preview of tomorrow.
Yeah, I thought we were moving though.
You thought we were moving? Yeah, you got your bags packed all right. But a huge congratulations to Slick. He's got new job opportunities coming forward, and as nice as it is for you and nice as it is for us to see, it's always bittersweet because it means we've done our job as what we do in our production world with all of our crew, and they move on to new opportunities where they've been trained with us. You've been with us for 2.5 years, and we wouldn't be where we are without you. And you've been with us through the pandemic, through everything, through lockdown when it was just you, me, and Freddie sometimes in the studio, and maybe Teddy. So congratulations to you. Freddie came in pajamas and his little hat. But big congratulations, so well deserved, and we're really proud of you. And hopefully we'll still be seeing some more of you.
You will, trust me.
What?
He doesn't believe he has social.
I know, Freddie's a
I
little
have my
disappointed
own.
in all of this.
I have my own beliefs because I feel gypped.
But I'm excited. We've got a guest joining us today. We have Hugo Nunez joining us, State Farm Insurance Agency, and a lot of exciting things. I promised him a bag of our cafe coffee, so when he leaves, we're going to.
We'll give it to him.
Forgot to give it to him yesterday. We started yesterday on the cafe talking about what's going on in the insurance world, and feels like every hour things keep changing more and more. Should we start with Hugo on flood insurance since we lost that one a little bit?
Yes.
The importance of flood insurance. And
Mike's.
a lot of people seem to think that flood insurance is covered under their homeowners if a pipe breaks versus hurricane or flooding. Do you only need flood insurance if you're in a flood zone?
4-3. 1, 2. Okay.
Well, that's interesting because generally, when you buy a home, if you are in a flood zone, the bank will require you to have flood insurance. And I don't have the exact statistics, but I remember a few years ago I looked it up, and 70% of the flood losses were in the non-flood zone. So where the banks were not requiring is where we were having 70% of the floods. It was interesting on that. I don't know if you've ever seen a flood map, but it's like a cloud. Like there's no exact boundaries, and it's really no way to predict it. If you ever seen the state of Florida from the sky, from an airplane, it's just basically flat. I mean, it's all
There's
water.
water everywhere.
And where there isn't water now, used to be water. Like even right here at our mall, I had friends that used to do the airboats where the mall is right now.
Wow.
Here in Boca,
Holy
back
cow.
in like
Wow.
in the late 70s. So flood is very important. Even if the bank doesn't require it, if you have a loss, there's nobody to turn to. So it is a federal program, separate policy from your homeowners. It is, it covers rising water. Okay, so we can't confuse that flooding from, again, the ice maker line breaking, or one of the most common floodings that we have is the hoses on your washing machine, because those hoses are under a lot of pressure, and so what happens is that it springs a leak during the middle of the night, and when you wake up in the morning and you put your feet down, you're in water. And it's amazing. 6 inches of water can do $40,000-$50,000 worth of damage.
Does washing machine water count as flood or homeowners?
No, that's your homeowners.
So it's rising water from the outside in?
What
Yeah,
about
exactly.
a toilet that, for some reason, have you ever seen this? Yeah. Toilet
Homeowners.
water.
Right. There's
Explode.
right. Generally, if it's generally the way that it works is flood is rising water. There's no such thing as, the way to look at it is only one house got flooded. Okay, because when you have a flood situation,
Everything.
it's usually several homes or a neighborhood. So when there is a storm and there is flood. Now, remember, you could have water coming in through your, if your roof flies off, all of a sudden water's coming in through your roof. Or if you have a window blowout, water's coming in that way.
Is that considered a flood?
The way that it works is right after the incident happens, the federal government sends somebody down, okay, because flood is a federal program, and they will tell the insurance companies, this is flood or this is not flood. Okay, so it is not your insurance company's call. It's whatever the feds determine that is the loss. So generally, it's rising water. And again, and I'm sorry if I confuse you, but yeah. So the pipe breaking in the ice maker, the washing machine hoses, a pipe breaking within the wall that happens all the time, is all considered homeowners, not flood. Okay, so your homeowners will take care of that. Now, interestingly enough, we have a lot of non-flood but water-related damages now. It just seems to be happening where pipes are breaking within the walls. Things are happening, and so it's getting very expensive. So insurance companies now are either eliminating the water coverage or they're giving you a maximum amount of coverage. So again, as we discussed yesterday, you have to speak to your agent, get informed, ask the question, do I have water damage? Not flood, because we already know that flood is a federal program, separate policy, rising water. We're talking about water damage within the home because of a toilet. Okay, that little thing breaks, it keeps running, you don't realize it, and it overflows. All of that is homeowners, but you have to be careful now because of the fact that we've had so many losses. Now they're either restricting or limiting, giving you like $10,000 worth of coverage.
And you wouldn't know, right? You would get your policy and you would assume that you've got water coverage,
You have no idea.
and you don't know.
You have no idea. And so you have to ask the question. It's like the other thing that is a big deal is dog bites. The majority of the policies exclude dog bites.
Dog bite.
Dog bites. So if your dog bites somebody, they're going to sue you, right? So then your homeowners is the liability under your homeowners is what would protect you if your dog bit somebody.
And that doesn't happen? Or happen?
Well, you have to ask the question.
Or
does
then
my-
maybe you need an umbrella policy.
Well, the umbrella is excess. Okay, so what happens is have an actual case. Gentleman was getting a delivery, a pizza thing. Dog got out and bit the delivery guy. It was actually a girl. So the homeowner's policy liability coverage is now handling the lawsuit that the driver is suing the homeowners for the dog bite. Basically what ends up happening, it leaves a scar, and again, in the insurance industry, scars have different value. A beautiful girl like you with a scar on your forehead is worth more than a scar on my forehead.
Oh, yeah.
And
Or yours.
right. So
What is this?
My scars are worth more than your scars. What can I tell you?
so
What?
So again, you have to ask the questions. Do I have dog bite coverage? Because a lot of
Not
policies
unless you look like
now,
her.
So you have to ask the question: do I have water? Now we've had situations where people have had multiple water losses, like we discussed yesterday, and you have multiple water losses, and we can't get them coverage. So then, when some companies will say, "Okay, we'll cover your home, but we're excluding all water damage."
Except if you look like her.
You
No,
got to ask. There's
that's
just
a
more
suit.
questions. Well, then we have to call someone like you and say, "All right, can you go through my policy and see?" And we also talked about a lot of companies are going under in Florida, or they're just not writing new policies.
Correct. We have situations where companies are going under, and basically giving notice. 2 weeks notice, where the
2 weeks notice.
the consumer gets a letter, the agent gets a letter, and you got 2 weeks to resolve the issue.
Even if
And,
you look like her, 2 weeks.
even if you look like
Does
her.
not even matter.
So we have the situation in Florida where companies are going under, and we have companies that are eliminating exposure. They're trying to eliminate, so they non-renew policies, okay, and then you have companies that are doubling and tripling the rate. So we have a lot of different scenarios. The state of Florida right now is a mess when it comes to homeowners protection. So it's a big topic, and you need to get educated as a consumer. You need to talk to your agent, and through things like this is where people should be making notes. Do I have dog coverage? Even though that's not what we're discussing.
Our policies,
Dog
if
bites.
Company A writes for your house and Company B could write for your house, would the premiums be the same because they're still in Florida, or that's where you have to look at the differences?
No, every company is going to charge differently.
And that's
So,
okay. There's no regulation in the state.
As long as you can show the state that you need to charge this amount, then the state will give you approval.
Now I got a question. Mm-hmm. So let's assume that you are dropped in 2 weeks, your homeowners, and you have a mortgage, and the mortgage requires you to have homeowners, and you can't get it. What happens?
Well, I mean that it falls on the agent. I feel that it falls on the agent to help that client secure insurance. So you go through all the different available. You can try through Citizens. If Citizens won't write you because, again, Citizens has a maximum of coverage that they will give you on the replacement cost of your dwelling.
Right.
So if you're within that, you're always going to get a quote from Citizens. You're always going to get insured by Citizens.
So you could be underinsured for the bank?
So no, I'm just saying if your home, the replacement cost of your home is under the
threshold.
Citizens amount that they'll allow,
Right.
so then we'll always be able to put you in Citizens.
But assume that it's
But
above.
if it's above the threshold that Citizens will write, then the agent has got to look for other markets. So if we can't find an admitted company, again, admitted companies being companies that
that's
are
right. Forgot about that.
backed by the state of Florida, they meet all the guidelines, then we try to put you in an admitted company. If the admitted company, there's nobody writing, which is the case now, then we go to the
Catastrophe writers.
No,
The ones that are not.
I always forget the
Omitted.
surplus.
Surplus.
So you end up at a surplus company.
Wow.
And then remember, the surplus companies, because they don't have that backing of the state and so forth, and they purposely don't want it so that they can charge or that they can do, they don't have to meet all the
They
guidelines.
can charge anything.
So
Three
then,
finger finale. They got to go to Tony the loan shark.
exactly.
I'm probably better
So
off with him.
But if they go out of business and you've got a claim,
yeah,
you're out of luck.
It's not backed by the state of Florida.
right now, if another company that is backed,
the admitted
you have a
company.
claim in the admitted, right, and they're
Wow.
backed by the state.
state of Florida.
That state has to pay that claim.
Yes, the state of Florida will come in. They start the liquidation process. They of the company. And then any outstanding claims and so forth are, going to get taken care of. Back to your question regarding the bank. Okay. Again, this is your agent's job to secure you that policy, whether it be through Citizens, if it meets the threshold, look through to the next market, which is the admitted companies, and then go to the surplus lines. If you fall asleep, the agent falls asleep, coverage doesn't get placed, the bank got that notice telling you that you're going to be non-renewed in 2 weeks. Okay, so the bank will send you a letter and saying, hey, we heard that your policy canceled. Do us a favor, send us your new policy. Okay, there is no policy, or you just woke up and said, oh my gosh, there's no new policy. So then they'll give you so many days, and then what'll end up happening is the bank will force place insurance to on the property. This is very important because a lot of people think they can run with forced place insurance. Number one, it's going to be like 4 times more than what your regular rate is. That's number one. Number two, a forced place policy does not give you contents, does not give you. It's only a policy to secure the note for the bank. It's not providing you liability. It's not providing you contents. So if you're saying, I'll pay the 4 times its worth, you're not getting any
You're
coverage.
not getting insurance. You're better off going to a bookie.
So I believe, don't quote me on this, but I think there was some kind of class action lawsuit against the banks because
I can see why.
Because it's like, this is like, who is this company? Never even heard of it. And so there was something going on because these banks literally will charge. I've seen them force place a flood policy for like $9,000. Where
I'm gonna faint.
a standard flood policy is somewhere between $500 to $800 to $900, but they'll force place it. And I know I'm going to get grief now from the banking industry, but it is what it is, And
Well, it's a
this
fact.
is what they're doing. So
Right, it's just educating the public to say you got to look at your policy. You have to talk to your agent.
Don't fall
you gotta,
asleep.
you got to
fall
pay
asleep.
attention to your mail. A lot of people's like, I don't even open my mail because all my bills are paid online,
Yep.
automatic pay, da-da-da. And I'm like, no, because there are certain guidelines within the industry that doesn't necessarily doesn't operate without mail, without paper,
Now, I want to get to this question because we're almost at the end of the show. Sinkhole.
A sinkhole?
A sinkhole.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
say this. In the storm we had,
You have one of those too?
there was a sinkhole.
With your
situa-
bees?
No.
And the lizard?
Okay, just
And
relax.
I was going to have a sinkhole
No.
slip.
Does it happen in Florida?
There are certain parts of the state that sinkholes are an issue. That there is certain parts of the state, generally the center part of the state, where there are sinkholes, and there is a concern. And again, when you're talking to your agent, you got to make sure. Now, there's two types of sinkholes.
Sinkholes.
And they're really not 2 types of sinkholes. There's 2 types of holes opening in the ground, and let's not call it sinkholes. One of them is called sinkhole, and the other one is called earth movement. Okay, I'm not gonna get into the definition of that.
We got to do a seminar.
Okay, so there's sinkhole and there's
Earth
catastrophic earth movement.
Like an earthquake.
Well, let's not go there because it doesn't
Don't go
have to
there
be
either.
the definition of an earthquake. Okay, so we're not
Earth
California.
movement.
So there's catastrophic
Sinkhole.
earth movement and there's sinkholes. There's 2 separate animals.
Wow.
Okay, so we do have a concern for that in the center part of the state.
Who makes the determination of what it was?
No, you have to, when you are selecting your coverage, most of the policies come with the catastrophic earth movement coverage. Most. Talk to your agent.
Okay, real
And
quick,
if you-
they're giving us our bumper music. How do people reach you?
Call this man.
What's your phone
1-800
number?
help.
I again, it's all about education. Talk to your agent. If my name is Hugo Nunez, you can Google me under Hugo Nunez in Boca Raton. My office number is 561-391-3225.
More information, you guys coming out. We'll bring them back on the cafe. Just call your agent. Call Hugo.
It brings the questions like sinkholes and earth movers. Earth movers?
And
Catastrophic.
African killer
Killer-
bees. It's all the same thing.
I got
Have a great night, everyone. We've got Jordana Foster coming to you on the other side of this commercial break. Ready, set, go beyond. Stay safe. We'll see you in a little bit.
This has been Tell Us Your Business, where a special guest comes on every week and tells us what they do. All shows can be seen on amp2.tv, and if you wish to be a guest, call 866-224-5422 and tell us about your business. That's 866-224-5422. This has been an amp2.tv production.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers,